My name is Jordan Anderson, and I've got questions about the podcast. I'm your host for this new podcast. And yes, today I've got questions about the podcast because this is a brand new podcast journey that I'm starting, and I'm excited, so excited to be kicking this journey off with all of you guys. Before I jump in, one of the big things about this podcast, which is going to be called I've Got Questions About That. So, welcome to the new channel, the new everything. And yeah, one of the main reasons why I decided I wanted to do this is I have another channel, if you're familiar with Movie Hero Network, where we talk exclusively about like movies, TV, pop culture, a little music, that kind of stuff. But for this one, it's going to be something totally different, and it's not going to be about any of those things. I mean, maybe a teeny bit once in a blue moon, but yeah. So before we get into it too far, I just want to just share something with you that's very deeply personal to me, and it's something that I've talked about quite a bit. And sorry if I get a little emotional on this; it tends to happen to me sometimes when I talk about these things that are really important to me. But I'm on the autistic scale, or autistic, yeah. And yeah, it's something that I've been very open about. I've officially been diagnosed as mid to high functioning autistic. So I could show you the paperwork. Maybe someday I will. It's right over off camera over there. So it is official from a doctor. I have the documents to prove it. But I'm not just one of those people that like say, "Oh, I feel weird, so I must be autistic." I mean, not everyone's on the autistic scale, but if you have questions and you're not sure if you might be, and you just feel a little off, or you feel like you're kind of in your own world, or you just don't connect with people in the same way other people do, or you just aren't really understanding things, or you have certain issues where you just like need things to be a certain way, or you just don't get other people's ways about things, about the world. Go out and get tested. Go out and look for a place, usually through a psychologist. And I did one, or I got tested through a local psychologist, and yeah, it really helped me understand a lot more. And I'll talk about my journey here in a minute, because it's a long one. Let me tell you, to get to where I am right now has been crazy. Like, it just, yeah. But let's see. I guess one of the big things I want to do with this podcast is I want to bring awareness to things. And let me turn off my notification. You can't hear them, but I can hear them in my earbuds. So I'm going to X all this out. All right. Yeah. So let's see. All right. So yeah, I want to try to bring awareness to things like uh, autism, and just let you guys know that the autism is not something to be fixed. It's something to be understood, and I think it's very important that people do understand what autism is, how it affects people, all that kind of stuff. I have a cousin who's on the autistic spectrum. I have a whole bunch of friends that appear on my channel. Well, a couple of them that are on the autistic scale. And autism, it's not OCD, but it can have some aspects of OCD, and it's not ADHD. I actually found out that for years I was diagnosed as having ADHD because they didn't know what else to say when I went to the doctor. And I've been officially told it is not ADHD, it's not ADD, it's not any of that stuff. It is autism. So, but each month on the podcast, I'll be spotlighting a different autism organization, and this month we're featuring the Autistic Self Advocacy Network. So and I want to just tell you a little bit about them, because I want to be able to help you guys be able to just learn more about autism, what it is, if you're looking for resources for it, or if you know someone that's been diagnosed with autism. These places can be a huge help, and also maybe how you can maybe donate a little bit of money if you'd like to, or just find out more about it. But the Autism Self Advocacy Network is about supporting supporting and protecting the rights and welfare of individuals with autism. It involves speaking up for their needs, promoting understanding, and advocating for policies that benefit them. This can include advocating for access to services, resources, and opportunity, as well as raising awareness and challenging misconceptions about autism. And you can find out more, or if you like to donate, you go to autisticadvocacy.org. And I'm going to put all that down in the, the, the description. So if you'd like a nice clickable link, but if you don't know how to spell, like for me, I have a hard time spelling autisticadvocacy.org, but I'm sure if you try it, that Google will autocorrect it and you'll be able to find it. So yeah, just go over there, and there's so many amazing resources over there. So yeah, but yeah, so I just wanted to introduce you to who I am, and if you're familiar with the Movie Hero Network, then you obviously know me, know who I am, or if you're like friends, family, that type of thing. But if you're not, then yeah, I just wanted to just tell a little bit about myself. I live in a small town in Idaho, and it's very small, like literally, like there is zero crime here, zero traffic, zero like it's just quiet, and like there's not a whole lot going on, which is a good thing, but also when you're single and looking for stuff to do, maybe not so much, but it's a great place to raise a family. I would say that. So, and yeah, so basically, like, the reason why I want to do this podcast is because I just feel like I have a very unique perspective on the world and like everything around it, and I can view things just a little differently than what the average person would view things as. And there's something that I don't understand. There's things that maybe I understand a little better, or in a different way, that just gives a very unique perspective. So I just thought it'd be pretty interesting to share that with you guys. And I mean, autism has been a huge like part of my life, even when I was young, and I didn't really understand why certain things. I mean, there's certain things that I did faster. Like I've always vibe with like technology, video games, computers. Like I can learn any computer program without any training, just in like minutes of just going on there and just messing around with it. And like I'm very good with that. I have a brain that just memorizes things really well, but it's useless facts like some random commercial jingle from when I was a kid, or movie quotes. I'm really good at movie quotes. So I do some trivia sometimes online, and come at me with the movie quotes, because I will smoke anybody with movie quotes. But or like, and a lot of facts about movies as well, probably. But yeah, and so I just noticed these things, but I noticed that some things were a little more difficult. Like I probably didn't learn to like ride a bike or tie my shoe till like a couple, like maybe a year after some of my friends did, and or there's certain things that I just didn't really understand that, or like know about until like later on. And I felt like other people knew about these things, and, a lot of social things too. Like I have quite a bit of social anxiety when I'm by myself trying to meet people. If I have a wingman, or if I have somebody with me, or a family or friend, then it's kind of like that safety blanket or whatever I can hold on to. And like I don't really have that social anxiety, but it has affected me quite a bit socially. Emotionally, not so much. Emotionally, the only thing is that sometimes, like, people that have autism are very prone to having triggers. Like there's certain things that'll just hit you in a certain way, and you just can't get out of your head. Like I've had triggers, like for example, on some recent ones, we went to Washington D.C. and we went to the I'm like totally spacing on it. The Holocaust Museum. Yeah, we went there, and like this place is huge. If you go to Washington D.C. and you want to visit the Holocaust Museum, it is great. It's amazing. It's an immersive experience. You want to plan about 3 hours there, because you can be in there a lot, and you want to read, and you watch all kinds of videos. And they put you in these rooms where it's like multiple floors of low lighting, and like they have the shoes that like the children wore, the real shoes that were recovered from some concentration camps and things like that. And there's different rooms where they even have this big room where you can go in, and it's a big flame in the middle, and you can write your thoughts about the Holocaust, and you can put it in the flame, and it'll burn up in there. And they even have a thing where you can go on the train that the Jews went on. They loaded them up to when they took them away to the concentration camps and all that stuff. So we're in there, and I'm just wanting to like have this like very like immersive, kind of almost like visceral experience. And I forgot that we had a tour book because we had to cram a lot with me and my family into this small little trip at Washington D.C. And we had a tour of the Capitol building that we had to go to kind of a great length to get that. You have to contact, if you want to get a tour of the Capitol building, you got to contact one of your state senators, I believe, and you got to get access from them to even do that. And I didn't realize that like I had my phone on silent, and my family had been calling me, texting me, all this stuff. And then this is my first time ever in Washington D.C., and it's like one of the bigger cities I've ever been in. I mean, I've never been to New York. I've been to L.A., but only like as a little kid, and San Francisco as well. But and I lived in Seattle. But I mean, it's just like so I see all these texts, all these missed calls, and then I see a text from my sister saying, "Hey, we had the tour at the Capitol building. We tried calling, we tried texting. You're gonna have to find your own way there. We got to go." And the Capitol building is nowhere near the Holocaust Museum, and so they took off and just kind of left me, and that was like an instant trigger. It just like I was pissed, I was livid. I was like, "Screw your stupid tour of the Capitol building. We need to stick together. I don't know how to navigate this town. I've had some issues with the motorized scooters because I can't put my phone on the scooter and drive, and I don't know where anything is, so I can't just drive blind. And so I'm like trying to ride on one with my phone, and I dropped my phone multiple times, and it's like breaking the case of the phone. Luckily, I had a really good case, and it fell right in the middle of oncoming traffic, and like just very stressful situation. And I couldn't find where the subways were. I couldn't find it. Like I went about like a third of a mile in the wrong direction. I had to backtrack and all this stuff. And eventually I just got fed up and I just walked. I walked probably like 2 miles or something over to the Capitol building, and because I just didn't care anymore. I'm just like, I'm just gonna go slow. They're gonna do their tour, and I'm just gonna like contemplate this and like kind of just decompress. But I got pissed, and so I was calling them. I was cussing them out. F you! Like, why the f would you leave me? Screw you! Like, I can't believe that you would do this to me. Like, it's just a tour. Like, I'm your brother or your son, because my dad was with us. Like, how dare you just leave me behind like that? And I was really upset, and like I really regretted it afterwards. Though I felt really dumb after like cussing all of them out on the middle of a vacation. But it just got to me. There's certain things that just trigger you. Like I had another time during Christmas time where we weren't doing all the things that we had planned and we had talked about, and my family doesn't get together that often, and we don't have very many chances. And so I wanted to do certain things, and they told me they were going to do it, and we never did it, and they kept twiddling their thumbs and twiddling their thumbs, and it wasn't happening. So I blew up again, and I try not to do it. Like I make it sound like it happens a lot. It doesn't happen very much. That's like once in the summer, once at Christmas, and maybe and not that often. And I don't know if I've even had a big blow up since. I really haven't. So, but it does happen, and it happens to people that are like less functioning, like lower functioning autistic more. So yeah, those things do um happen, and I just feel like one of the things that with autism is you can be very very rigid too, like very rigid, and so when you have your mind set on doing something, or like a certain thing happening a certain way, like you can't, you're really hard time veering from that, and like your mind's set, you are locked in, and you don't want to change. You're going to do it the way you want to do it and the way you need to do it, and in your own time and your own way. That's a big one for me. My own time and my own way. I do everything in my own time and my own way. It makes a lot of jobs hard for me. I've lost countless jobs because I just need to do things in my own time and my own way. And even though bosses will ask me to do certain things at a job, I'll do it, but I'm just doing it in just my own kind of way. Sometimes I'm doing it even more efficiently, I feel like, sometimes less efficiently, sometimes it's somewhere in the middle. And they come up to me and like, Jordan, what are you doing? I asked you to do this, so like, why aren't you doing it? I'm like, I am doing it. I'm just like doing it this way. But maybe like, no, like we told you to do it this way, and you need to do it the way I said it. And or certain things, like I always have earbuds in or like headphones in all the time. I'm constantly like some people stim, so like some people that are on the autistic scale, they do little things with their hands or moving around or like jumping around. I used to, as a kid, used to twirl in the circles. You watch home videos of me, and I'm always just like spinning around like all the time and just like kind of pacing also. And I don't do that really anymore as an adult, but um sometimes you'll see me kind of fidgeting with things. I haven't been doing it so much. I used to have these little fidget toys like let's see. I got some down here. Not all of them, but these little popper things, like that, or I got some little Grogu ones that I got from a friend of mine, I'll sit there and play with those. I haven't been doing it quite as much though. I kind of just put them in a basket by my shelf back here and just like haven't really thought about them for a while, so they're there and maybe we should pull them out more. But and yeah, there's just certain things that like people like that will do. So that's a thing. And also I have a big problem with authority. I figured I don't like anybody telling me what to do. And like I'm actually totally fine if you come and you ask me and you say it nice, because a big thing about autism is the way that you speak to people. It is huge. You speak to me kindly and nicely, and you like ask politely, and and you be my like buddy, like you can be my best friend, my buddy. You talk to me like an equal, and like we're having fun, and we're having a good time, uh then it works for me. But if you say like you better do this now, screw you, you have to do this, you have no choice, and especially the more of an authority figure you are, I just don't vibe with you at all. And I've lashed out at like cops, teachers at school that are really strict, bosses at work, really strict parents, like people just like I don't like narcissistic people. I don't really understand sarcasm very well, and I don't like it. And when I hear it, I get like really like upset by it, or like very annoyed and irritated. I just don't like that kind of stuff. But I mean, I'm working on it though. Like the whole thing is a work in progress. I want to be able to be more tolerant, more easygoing, just easier to deal with and easier to work with those things. But there are some things, like there's certain friends that I have and certain people in my life that I connect very, very quickly. Like there's even people I've dated that we make a fast connection. And one of the things is I tend to get very personal very fast and just open up about things. And I really like being open and honest and just sharing all the personal things about my life, because I don't have anything to hide. I know I'm just totally open. Like what you see is what you get with me. I'm not fake. I'm the same person all the time. The only thing sometimes is I grew up in the Mormon church, and some of my family that don't like swearing. They don't just like kind of rough language or talk about different things. I listen to a lot of comedy that like has some dirty sex like jokes and that kind of stuff in it. And like whenever any of my family comes around, I'll turn that stuff down. I'll turn it off. I'll do not talk about it, just out of respect for them, because I know they don't really appreciate those things. Some people are like pretty tolerant. Most of my family actually is pretty good about like, no, just listen to whatever you want. That's fine. Like it doesn't really bother me. But I do have a couple of them that would just really rather not hear that. So yeah, um but yeah, I mean, those are like the main ways that the autism has affected my life, and it's been really hard to maintain jobs. That's why at almost 40 years old, I'm living with my dad still, which I haven't all my life. I've been married once, and I was married for almost 5 years. I was engaged to a girl that I dated for about 7 years, and I've lived on my own. I've lived with roommates. I have, but now I'm back with my dad, and like because I'm mid to high functioning, it's like I like get there and like doing really well. I'm making lots of money. I'm having success with work, and then it all just goes away, and then I'm back to square one, and like nothing really sticks. And there's certain things that I wish I would have learned that like maybe I did learn some of it and I didn't stick. Is like how to invest money, like what it's gonna take for me to like buy a house and like have a retirement, and to like I don't know, like a lot of money related things, and like there's certain blocks. Like so that's a big thing with me personally. I don't know if it's that way with everyone that has autism, but I have blocks where like I understand everything. And like when you look at me, you just see just a completely normal person that just looks like everybody else, acts like everybody else, talks like everybody else. But then I'll hit a wall where like just certain things just don't make sense to me. I just don't get it. I just don't like, I don't know. Like I just like, I mean, I have a job, but it doesn't pay that much. And it's something that I have because it's a job where I can set my own schedule. I can work whenever I want because I do deliveries for like DoorDash, Walmart, Spark, uh, Instacart, like all that stuff. And I'm actually working on a few other similar jobs of doing more of that kind of stuff. But you know, I've been trying to like not necessarily move away from that, but I want to find something that's doing a similar thing that just pays more. I mean, the job pays decent, and I can work anytime I want. I can work as much or as little as I want to, but um, and that's really nice because I have a YouTube channel that I run. Now it's going to be two. I mean, most of my focus is going to be on the Movie Hero Network. This is just a podcast, and that'll be the only thing on this channel for the foreseeable future. But I want it to live on its own channel, and eventually I want to put it on like iHeartRadio, Apple Music, Spotify, like all those different things where you get your podcasts and have it available there also. But for right now, it's just here on the YouTube channel, or if you're watching on the Movie Hero Network. I'm going to have the first 2 episodes on the Movie Hero Network until I can get the podcast up and going and established. And then I'm going to just move everything over to the new channel. So that's pretty much what it is. But um, with that, I mean, I'm just a very curious person. So there's a lot of things I want to talk about, and I'll get into some of the topics and things I already have scheduled. But I am essentially just doing this on my own, 100% on my own. This is like kind of like a passion project for me, just doing this, and I think it's really important that I can bring awareness to autism and help to be a really good influence and advocate about autism. And it's a thing that like we're really understanding more and more every single day, and we're understanding what autism is, how it affects people, and if you have autism or if it's not autism, and it might be something else, you know. And like the whole entire podcast, 'cause I'm not going to talk about autism on most podcasts. I am going to still like mention the autism organizations where you can donate and support autism. But I mean, we're going to have other topics. I'm just talking about it in more depth on this first episode. So you can get to know me and what I'm all about. But I'm always going to be real and raw and open and honest about everything. And we're going to have some controversial topics that we're going to cover. And then we're going to have some lighthearted ones. We're going to have everywhere in between. We're going to have a lot of cool guests, some family members, some friends, maybe some experts. Hopefully, I'm in talks with a few people, and yeah, but I really feel like the way that I see the world is a huge strength to me, because I just like have a unique way of like seeing things and understanding things, and like to me it's a big strength. So every single episode we're going to ask questions about all these different topics. So like for today, like I have questions about the podcast. Well, this is the podcast, and the next one I'm gonna have questions about something else that I'll get into in a minute. But yeah, but I do want to emphasize that I am not an expert. You know, I'm just curious, but I'm thoughtful. You know, I'm real, and uh, most of the people that I'm going to have on here will not be experts. We're just coming at it from your perspective, like the average everyday person that like doesn't know a lot about it. But I'm going to put in my work. I'm going to do the research. I'm going to spend about a week on each one of these. I'm going to research all the topics and like really I try to learn everything I can about the topic, just immerse myself in these topics that I'm curious about, and then we're going to talk about it. You know, I'm going to ask questions, and we're going to get to some answers, hopefully, maybe some thoughts, some opinions, all that kind of stuff. And we'll even say like it's probably going to get a little controversial, but I'm going to try to be fair and cover both sides of the spectrum on all different things, which I'll get into what we're going to be talking about, and some of the topics we have lined up. And then I have a whole bunch of ideas for different shows. And if you have any ideas, if you're tuning in, and you have ideas of something that you think would be a great topic for us to talk about, or you maybe know someone that's very passionate, maybe you're very passionate and you'd like to come on, we're open to having anybody and everyone on here and talk about anything. Like no topic is off limits. We'll talk about everything. Like we'll get as deep and controversial as you want, or we'll keep it lighthearted. We'll do whatever you want, you know. And like I'm always very kind and respectful to my guests. I'll ask them like, what do you want to talk about? Like, is there anything that's off limits that you don't want me to mention? And then we'll just get into it, you know. Um and then so some of the topics, like the very first one that I'm going to do, we're recording it this upcoming Saturday. It's going to be if I bring up my calendar here, which of course my computer does not want to bring up my calendar, but it's Saturday. So Saturday the 19th, this upcoming Saturday. That's weird. It usually just brings up my calendar, but Saturday the 19th, I'm going to be recording with my brother Trent. Now, I'm going to try to get these episodes out as fast as I possibly can, but just realize I work a full-time job. I have my other YouTube channel. Like I may not be able to get these out same day, but I'm going to try my very best to get them out within a couple of days. And especially this one, I think I can get out quick. And to do that, because it's just me doing this until I can get more people involved, and like an editor and a producer and different things, then there's going to be pretty much little to no editing on this thing. But as I start to add more people onto the team, then there'll be more editing. There'll be more cool little inserts and other music and other things, you know. So everything that you see, every single aspect of this is me. I did the intro. I made the logos for this. I did all of it. So the outros, everything. So yeah, because I love doing this kind of stuff. I have a blast with it. I have a blast like doing graphic design and doing video editing and podcasting and the YouTube stuff, all of that. And also one little thing about me, just to like flip gears really quick, just real briefly, is that I also have a stutter. So you may hear that come out. Most of the time you don't hear it, but I do have that there. So if you hear me like kind of struggling to say a word or kind of stammering just a little bit, that's why. So yeah, I do have that. But anyways, let's get into some of the topics we're going to be covering, because the first one's going to be all about the Mormon church that I was raised in, or AKA the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So I'm going to get into it with my brother, who he is someone who's very, very invested in the church and like Jesus Christ and Heavenly Father and the Book of Mormon and all that stuff. And like for him, it's his whole world. It is literally everything. It's so important to him that he puts that above everything, above every single thing, and even above family, friends, like everything. It's his number one. And there's reasons why, and I think he has pretty valid reasons for doing it. You know, I think you can get tad much, you know, but it's fine though, because that's just me, because I have issues with like one of the things I've always kind of like a little like saying that I've always lived by is moderation in all things. I need to have moderation in everything. Too much of anything is just gonna like drive me nuts. And I mean, there's certainly going to be more things that you're interested in more than others. I'm a big movie guy. I'm big into pop culture and TV. I love to travel. I feel like I could do those things specifically forever and never get tired of it. But I think I would eventually probably reach a breaking point where I just need a little break. But everything else, I can't have too much. It's got to be kind of almost very minimal in most things. But let's see, what other topics? Yes, well, so the Mormon Church, though, we're just going to get into how it's affected my life growing up, how my viewpoints on it now, my brother Trent, like how it affected him growing up, what he thinks of it now, and maybe some of the controversial topics that I've had some questions about, some big questions, and maybe some problems with, some issues. I had a real problem with a bishop when I moved to Pocatello, a big one that almost made me leave the church for good. Like I haven't left it for good, I'll say, but I'm not really active now, because I'm not really gonna. If I leave the or if I stop going to church, it's not like I'm just gonna just take off and go to some other church. I've investigated a lot of churches throughout my life. The Mormon church is for me. Like that's the one if I go to church. Right now though, I don't know if any organized religion is for me. So I kind of say Mormon church is for me, but it's not for me because there's a lot of questions and issues and problems that I have with it that we'll get into on that episode. So we got that coming up. But there are some things that I love about the church that like have been amazing and a huge blessing in my life and have been really great about it. So I want to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly and everywhere in between. So we're gonna do that. And then I'm gonna have my brother back at a later date. It won't be two in a row, but he is a vegetarian and I want to kind of pick his brain up. Well, so he was a vegetarian. He's not currently. He actually eats meat now, but he did it strictly for over 10 years and like it was a huge part of his life. And I might try to get we have a neighbor down the road, one of our good friends. His name's Mike Clark. He his whole family are vegan. So my brother was a vegetarian. He is a vegan, so that includes no dairy, no I don't know, like I don't even know like totally what it does and what it doesn't include. I just know no animal products of any kind. So and no eggs, no dairy, no just a lot of different things that maybe a vegetarian would have. They don't have it, and they've invited me several times to go eat at their house. I know Mike is always trying to get me to come over and just have some good like hearty rib sticking food. They make these huge pots of all this stuff, but it's all vegetables, and like vegetables kind of scare me. I'm not a vegetable guy. I don't like most vegetables. I mean, some I do, but not many. And like, and then I've gone over there 4 or 5 times to eat before, and every time that I do, I come up like I walk away being like, I need a burger. I need to have some pizza. I need to have something with something substantial. I just don't feel like that what I had over there really like did it for me. It didn't satisfy me. So I don't know though. They're very healthy though, and it's a very, very healthy way to live their life. And they'll probably live a long time, longer than me. But I like to eat things that I like, and it doesn't always include healthy things. And but I've been trying. I've been trying to eat things that have less ingredients, and just like simple ingredients that come from the earth and stuff. But easier said than done. So, but let's see. I also, I'm going to talk to my mom's cousin, Gayleen, about the Jehovah's Witnesses church. And I'm still setting that one up because I don't know if I'll be talking to her specifically or to her brother Kevin, or if I'll be talking to their mom, Nancy, who's my grandma's sister. But they all were raised in the JW church, as I call it, and the Jehovah's Witnesses, and like they have some very like interesting things like I'm very curious about. Why don't they celebrate holidays? Why do they only believe 144,000 people are going to heaven? Doesn't that mean that like everyone that already like that already has been saved or is going to be saved they've already been saved, so everyone else is like they're not going to be saved, you know, like it's like all right, well, too bad for you, you know. So there's that. Why don't their church buildings have any windows? I don't know if it's for efficiency, if there's a reason behind that. They're secretive about some things. Like I'm sure there's things they won't be able to talk about. So and I don't know if they have their own scriptures or version of the Bible. So there's a lot of things that I'm curious about that like. And I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to dig deep, and I'm not going to leave any stone unturned. And I don't want to offend anybody, so I let everybody know if I say anything that's offensive or you don't want to talk about it, then we'll just move on and just say maybe let's just move on from that and just go to the next thing or whatever, next question. So yeah. And I'd like to, if anyone knows anybody who that knows a lot about other religions, that's been a part of other religions, Catholic, Muslim, Judaism. I mean, I do have a Jewish friend, but I don't know if he's like all that active, honestly. Um, my my buddy Adam, that we all called the Jew in high school, which he was totally cool with. But and or like just people that go to a Baptist church or a Methodist, or like what's the difference between all these different like things? Because there's things I think that are so great and so cool about all these other religions, but other things I just don't understand, and I just want to know why things are the way that they are, or maybe educate me. And there's probably things I didn't even know about these churches. So I'd like to dig deep. I don't have any guests of any of those other religions yet, but if you know anybody, 'cause I think on the religious stuff, I'd really like to have a guest on that, because I will be doing some solo episodes from time to time and just doing my own research on things. But so yeah, I want to get into politics, so I am going to dive into politics. I'm going to talk to my dad and my sister about conservative politics, and they are conservative, and I kind of grew up in a conservative household, so I lean a little conservative. I'm not totally conservative though. There's a lot of liberal viewpoints that I do have. I believe in like helping people that are less fortunate, and like helping handicapped people and elderly and people who have served in the military, and things like that they deserve and deserve a little extra and a little help, and that like we should be willing and almost like not forced, like that's the wrong word, but we should be strongly encouraged to help those people out because they need help, and if we're able to do it, we should do it, but but for the most part, I believe that the government should stay out of our business, out of our lives. Government should be small. There shouldn't be red tape on things. We should just be able to live our lives peacefully and just however we want to live our lives, and just do what we want with our lives. Our money is our money. Our things are our things. Our home is our castle. That kind of stuff. So I do believe in that, and then we're going to talk about what they think. My dad and my sister, Emily, what they think about the current state of our country, and how their conservative viewpoint has affected them their whole life growing up, with different like presidents. Because my lifetime, when I was born, I think that it was Ronald Reagan that was in office. I just heard about Jimmy Carter, and then all the way from Ronald Reagan till now. That's my lifetime, but um, uh, they had different people. My dad even had other presidents, Jimmy Carter and Nixon, and people before that. And then my sister was born, I think, in like the George W. Bush era. I'm pretty sure she was born in '99. So, yeah. But she was born in '98, I think. But anyways, yeah. But I'm still looking for someone that wants to come in and talk liberal politics. I had a couple people in mind, but they weren't so interested in talking about that, and they're maybe going to come talk about some other things that I didn't know that they were that interested in. So that's cool. And so if you know anyone that wants to just come in, and it can be anything that you want, you can just tell me about your liberal viewpoints. If you want to have a Trump bashing session, I'd be game for that for one episode, just one episode. I'm not gonna keep doing it, but just for one, sure. Like, or have a Trump and Elon Musk bashing fest if you want to, or if you just want to talk liberal politics. The thing is, I don't want to argue. I don't want people being mean spirited and attacking people. I just want to be kind and compassionate and just like hear each other's viewpoint and be open and honest. And I want both of us to be that way, or else it's just not really gonna work. You got to be that way, or I can't have you on. But if you can do that, then yeah, let's come on. Let's talk all about it. So I have a friend, my friend Trevor, Greg, who some people might know, uh, is a libertarian, and he ran for the Idaho House of Representatives. So I kind of want to talk to him about that experience. He didn't win, but like why he wanted to do that, what motivated him, and what some of his ideas were, and why like was he just unhappy about the state of where he lived in Idaho, or was it just he had just a really passion for politics? I don't know. So that's something to talk to him about. I'm going to talk to one of my best friends and my former roommate, Ben Blessing, about what it's like to be an ultra marathon runner, because he runs 100-mile races and he runs 24-hour races. And so it's crazy. I think he did like a 48-hour race. I want to say, like, that sounds insane to run that long. We only take a quick break to eat and a quick break to use the bathroom, and you're just running. You're not even sleeping. It's crazy. That is nuts. I know for him, it's kind of a spiritual experience for him, and he actually has started some of his own races that he hosts, and these guys don't just run like on flat trails, like at a track or in a park. They're running through the mountains, steep uphill climbs across rocks. They run through Death Valley in like the hottest temperatures. They run in cold climates. They do it all, and it's crazy. And I want to talk to him about it. And then down the road, I want to have Ben back on because he also composes music, classical music, but he composes it, and he's played music for the military, the National Guard, and the Marine Corps, and yeah, and then just kind of promote some of his music. He has music out there, and tell you guys where you can find it and where you can listen to it and buy it or all that stuff. So I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna have probably my co-host from the Movie Hero Network, Austin Pez Howell, and probably also a friend of the show, Jordan Owens. I'd like to have them on together. I think that'd be fun because they both worked in wrestling. They worked in the professional wrestling field. Austin was a professional, or he was a referee for professional wrestling, and he has a lot of friends in the business and like just what it takes and what he has to do and all the little nuances that go into that. And then Jordan Owens, who we sometimes call JPO around here, and he did a color commentary for professional and amateur wrestling, and yeah, just get his thoughts and things on doing that. And maybe they have some cool or crazy stories, that they are friends with a lot of these wrestlers. They've gone and like hung out with a bunch of them, all that stuff. So yeah, I definitely want to do that. I'm gonna have my sister back another time, one to talk about conspiracy theories, like all the best conspiracy theories, and get juicy. We can talk about this Justin Baldoni situation with Ryan Reynolds. We can talk about the like Marcon, I guess the president of France. Like might have some a little transgender controversy going on where she, I don't know what you call them, might be a transgender. Was the moon landing faked or was it real? Was 9/11 an inside job? Or like, what's the deal with flat earthers? And maybe down the road, I'll revisit some of these topics if I can find any kind of expert and to like get into it and talk about these things, or like talks about someone about climate change, and because I don't really believe in climate change. I just believe the Earth will always adapt and always be okay, and it's been okay for millions of years, and it will keep being okay. But maybe talk to someone that has a different viewpoint, and what's some things we can do to be a lot more conscientious and conserve our natural resources and protect the earth and all that stuff from a crisis that may or may not happen. But and then I want to talk to one more with my sister. So I already have 3 planned with her. That she used to work for Walt Disney World. So like, what's the deal with Disney adults? Like why are they so obsessed with it? What's the appeal of Disney? I mean, I love theme parks myself. I absolutely love theme parks. If I could take like a couple years and just go to every theme park in the world, and I had the money to do it, or money was no object, I mean, I would do it. Like hands down, I would do it. Are you kidding me? That would be a blast. And just I talked to her about her experiences working for Disney, and then we have a family friend. Her name's Katie, and she works for Disney currently as a Walt Disney World travel agent, and she goes to Disney probably like 4 times a year and like stays for quite a while when she's down there. It's like a 3-week thing or something. She's just down there having a blast down in Florida. She's been on every Disney cruise line. She just knows Disney inside and out, backwards and front. And we'll just talk about Disney in general. I have some things like, what are their favorite Disney movies, favorite characters? Talk about the whole fandom and the world of Disney. How for me, Disney used to be a company that I once like that could rely on no matter what, like unconditionally, like if they're going to put out a movie, it's going to be quality. If they're going to do something in their parks, it's going to be quality and it's going to be worth it. And like, do they think that the parks are too overpriced? Do they like these Disney live action remakes that they keep churning out? I don't, but maybe they do. So yeah, we'll just get into all that stuff. I'm probably going to have one of the regulars on my YouTube channel, Brian Nussbaum. He wanted to come on and I talk about what it's like to go to all these different conventions, go to a lot of wrestling events, and meet the celebrities, and like which are some of his favorite celebrities he's ever met. Like, what with experiences? Did you have any that were not so good, and like some crazy stories, or any douchebaggy people, or like were they all pretty cool, pretty chill? Like, do you have some favorites? Like, what are the conventions like? And what's your next event you have planned that you're excited about? Maybe talk about some even cool, like, he's been on a lot of vacations. He's been to Disney quite a bit. We'll get into some of that stuff, but and let's see. Probably like those are like the main topics I have on the schedule so far. So those ones are on the schedule. I have a friend who's a professional poker player that I'm waiting for a response back. Who's played in the World Series of Poker and played against some all time greats in the poker world, and it'd be cool to talk about that. I think he said he like played in or around Daniel Negreanu, which is really cool. The mouth, but yeah, just like talk to him about that, and just get into like whatever you guys are interested in. If it's different types of jobs, what it's like to be a bodybuilder, maybe, or different hobbies. I mean, my sister's husband's been kind of getting into some bodybuilding stuff. Might talk to him, or like what it's like to work in the film industry, what it's like I want to talk to some world travelers and tell me your stories of traveling the world and all the cool and crazy things that you've done and some of your favorite places. I got a couple of people that are like that, or just like any kind of fandom. You into anime, you into comic books, you into like true crime, you into reality TV, you are you super into anything? Like, I mean, we'll talk about like anything. We can literally have like an episode about Bitcoin or about mental health. Oh, one of the things I want to do is I want to talk to my brother. I'm waiting for a response from him. I have another brother, my brother Aaron, who knows how to travel for cheap and almost free through credit card points and like airline miles, and like he knows like all the ins and outs. He knows how to swap miles, swap points, all this stuff, and which credit cards to get, and like he's gone on some amazing trips for literally almost free. He took our whole family to the Bahamas on like just credit card points. Like, it was insane. We stayed at like the most beautiful resort I've ever been to in my life, called the Hyatt, or the Grand Hyatt Baha Mar, and he's been back there twice. He's been to Hawaii multiple times. He's been to the Maldives. He's been to Costa Rica. He's been to all these amazing places, and then all over the United States. And so yeah, like it'd be awesome to talk to him about how he's able to do that and how you can do it, and he can give you all the tips and of the trade, and we'll give his contact information because he gets benefits when people sign up. He signs up people all the time, like every week he signs people up because he gets benefits from points and extra things, and so it helps him and it can help you. So yeah, but yeah, if there's any more like maybe social issues, maybe just things that are on your mind, it can be controversial, it can be lighthearted, it can be anything. And I need more guests because I need enough to fill out the year of podcast episodes. I want to try to bring this to you once a week. Now, it may be a little bit of a slow rollout because I have all these guests scheduled, but I mean, I only have so many guests scheduled. I'm working on some more, and there may be times where it's a little low. There may be times where it's super busy, and I put out like more than just one episode in a week. We'll see how it goes. So that's why you want to hit the subscribe button. You definitely want to stay subscribed. You want to stay tuned to everything that's going on. Hit the little bell. You want to keep track of everything that's going on. I haven't created everything. I mean, there's a lot of places you can follow us down in the description, but I want to make a YouTube, or no, I want to make a Facebook group. It's going to be called I've Got Questions About That Facebook group. I want to make like an Instagram page. I want to just make some places where you can follow us. We can be a little community and maybe have some chats and some different things about that. So yeah, just we can kind of hang out and I'll be part of the community, So but yeah, I think, let's see. I'm looking at my notes here of everything I want to tell you guys about because I don't want to miss anything. But yeah, I mean, there may be some. So I did mention the Movie Hero Network. That's my other channel. There may be times where I get into a little bit of TV and movies. My main goal is to kind of steer clear of that, but but I mean, it is a big part of who I am and like what I do, and like I could talk to you about that for an episode, but yeah, but I mean, the main thing, just being curious and asking questions and being real, and just learning and just having an open mind. I want to learn about all these things because there's a lot of things that I don't know about, and I'm really curious, and I want to talk about it. And the first episode is going to be a big one, talking about the LDS Church, because it's like I've known people that have deconstructed from the LDS Church, and it has been like almost like they had a death, like a spiritual death or a mental death of sorts. And I didn't go that far, but there's a lot of things that make me really sad about the church that I want to talk about, and I can't really give it all away. But there's some juicy stuff that you're gonna want to tune in for that, because I'm just like some stuff that really upsets me about the church, some things that makes me angry, some things that I love about the church, some things that are just, I mean, some things, I mean, yeah, we'll leave it at that. Some things that have happened to me with the church, all that stuff, but I gotta keep my lips sealed on all that stuff till the episode. So but yeah, it'll be me and my brother Trent on the next episode. And yeah, I mean, I'll just say, because we're kind of getting to the end here, just follow us on all the socials down below. And if you're already subscribed, then just share this out with someone that you know, and tell them to subscribe. Make sure that they actually do it, because it'll be a huge help. And maybe eventually we'll have a Patreon. We do have a Patreon for the Movie Hero Network. That's patreon.com/movie hero, and you can find exclusive stuff there. But the last thing before I sign off, and I really intended this to be a little bit shorter, but that's fine. I mean, we're not going too long, but so there's a quote that I want to leave you with at the end of every episode. I'm only going to explain it this one time, and then I'll just say it on the episode, because I thought it's one of the coolest quotes that I've ever heard, and even makes me like a tad emotional when I think about the quote. But so it comes from a movie. This movie that I love, one of my favorite movies, called Baby Driver, and the main character played by his name's Baby, and he's a driver. So I mean, hence the name. But he was played by Ansel Elgort, and he is kind of forced into this life of being a getaway driver, because he's really good at it. He can drive like a pro, and he helps all these this organization of all these criminals that want to rob banks and want to do these crimes, and he's just a getaway driver. And like, he wants to get out of it. He wants to get out of doing it, but he's afraid that he can't get out of it. And if he does that, like, that might be the end of his life. They might kill him. They might hurt him. They might put harm to his girlfriend. Like just those things. And so they force him to go into this bank and just kind of scope it out, because they want to rob it, and like count the cameras and how many people are working there, so they can kind of make a plan of how they want to rob it. And the bank teller just like says this quote that she says that it's from Dolly Parton in the movie. I tried to look that up and like fact check that. I don't see anything that actually says Dolly Parton said this quote, but maybe she said it once. I don't know, but I love it though. Like it's become one of my favorite quotes, and it's this: everybody wants happiness, nobody wants pain. You can't have a rainbow without a little rain. So to me, that quote means that no matter how hard things get in life, don't worry, everything will be okay. So whatever means necessary, things will be okay. So just, if you're going through a hard time, I promise you, just like step back, take a deep breath, just realize you're going to get through this. And it may be a really hard time. Like maybe something so hard for you that like you don't know what you're going to do and like how you're going to get out of it. But like there's always a way out of things, and there's always the light at the end of the tunnel. And then sometimes there's a rainbow, which means things are going to get even better. So and like, no matter if you have faith and you think it's through Jesus Christ, or you think it's through like friends and family, or your own hard work, or just coincidences of life, things aren't always going to be bad. They'll only be bad for a time. And I think that's because that's so I know that it's so we can learn and we can grow and we can become better people, because we all have to experience hard times. We all go through it mentally and physically and emotionally and spiritually and all those things. So just realize that no matter how hard things get, that everything will be okay. So everybody wants happiness. Nobody wants pain. You can't have a rainbow without a little rain. So, and I'll just say, thank you guys so much for tuning into this first episode. I really appreciate you guys, and I'm just really excited about this journey. And I'll just say, go check out the Movie Hero Network. We're doing a lot of cool stuff over there, and just stay tuned for a lot of awesome things coming from I've Got Questions About That. And I've been Jordan Anderson, and we will see you next time.